Hey, this is Rob from Robert Russell Designs. I'd love to show you how I built this round, super shiny table. When I start by debarking each one of the slabs. A little bit of prep work goes a long way to keep the bond between the epoxy and the wood nice, solid, and safe. By the way, check out that work table that I have here. It is a giant American elm slab that I'm going to make into a 13-foot table later. Just hacking away at this soft area that had a little infection on the tree, using the angle grinder with a wire wheel to help me clean it up. That is the messiest part of what I end up doing with these epoxy tables. Now for round tables, I often and almost always build a form for it. Why? Because I feel like it gives me a true idea of what the final product is going to look like. So this is me just building up that epoxy form. In just a little bit, you are going to see me put a bunch of little pieces on the bottom of the epoxy form that I'm building. And the reason for this is because it's a 54-inch table and plywood comes in 48-inch sheets. So I've got to put a seam, and to make sure that seam is nice and stable, I use these as little secured pieces with some finish up. And I'm using my router on the homemade compass to get this thing nice and circular. Speaking of circular, this is me. I traced the pattern, the round pattern, on the slabs as I'm going to lay them out, and then I cut them with the jigsaw. While you're watching, don't forget to subscribe and enable the notifications for my channel if you're liking this video. There you go. That is a battery-operated jigsaw, my friends, and it is an absolute workhorse. Does the job, does the trick perfectly for it. I've got an extra long blade to make it through those 2-inch slabs. One more final layout with some markings and some cuts, and then I finish off the form with some Tyvek tape here. You're going to see me move really, really fast right now, getting this thing finished. I wish I did move that fast in reality. After I get that Tyvek tape on this, I end up working on the sides. Now, in order to work on the sides, I've got this PVC that I bought, and then I ripped down into nice thin, it's like 3/8 of an inch, so that they bend to meet that form. You can use plywood, you can use MDF. I just happen to have this PVC for another project that I reworked. Caulked it. Now I'm getting the slabs laid out here for the pour on the pour table. I still use the pour table even though we have the form. I do that because it's perfectly level, and oops, drop the can into the bucket. Thankfully, this isn't a clear pour. It is a mostly opaque black pour. Here, mixing up the epoxy. This is always so much fun. Getting the color absolutely perfect there, putting it in the vacuum chambers. It's not boiling, folks. It's just getting all the air out that was incorporated during the mixing process. Now for the pour. Some of the most fun videos to take are these pour videos. Everybody loves them. They're exciting. It really does change the look of the piece. Pulling down the router sled here. That's a homemade router sled. I actually just purchased a TOT router sled that I'm really excited to show you soon. I've got a full unboxing and installing or assembling videos coming out with that, so stay tuned to the channel. Again, we are unboxing this slab from the form, getting it on that router sled, using those woodpecker slab clamps, if you notice those. And now we go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like 300, 400, 500 times. I don't know. I lose count every single time I do that. Now at 54 inches, this is a bit of a stretch to flip by hand. It's certainly on top of the router table, but it's worth it. Cleaning off the debris that's left from this. We are on to the sanding phase. I end up using a lot of different sanders on this to get not just it sanded well, but to get it polished. This is probably the absolutely most time consuming part of the project. The sanding is not just the most time consuming, but probably the most crucial. Not just to get a nice finished product, but to get that shine. So I usually go from 40 grit to 60 grit to 80 grit to 100 grit, then 120, then 150, then 180, then 220, then 320, then 400, and then I start wet sanding. 400, 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, I think 1,800. It goes and goes and goes, and then I start using polishing compound, which actually starts at an equivalent of about 5,000 grit, then a 10,000 grit, then like a 15,000 grit. And that is the process that I use to get this beautiful, beautiful shine. This takes forever, folks, but it is absolutely worth it. And here, a little bit of detail sanding. After I go and I polish, I have to come back with 120 to get it ready and available to take the Rubio monocoat. And you're also going to see I am not spreading the Rubio monocoat on the epoxy because it's oil, and it's oil going on like a mirror, and you don't want that because it'll likely be a bit streaky for you if you do. So anyway, so here we go, and we are buffing out the Rubio monocoat. We start by just buffing out the wood areas, then we go and we put a new pad and just buff out the epoxy areas. And I am wrapping it up for delivery. This one is a local delivery for me, folks, and I was extremely excited to carry this up the stairs. And here we are with the finished product, folks. Take a look at the curves on the wood, the curves on that beautiful base from Econ Welding in Illinois, in Wakanda, Illinois. But here, look at this. Look at all the intricate detail on that base and here on the top. Again, if you want to see more videos like this, more content, please subscribe and enable notifications, comment on it, give me some feedback on what you like to see, what you don't like to see, and how I am doing. Thanks, friends, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.